All right. Hello, everyone. This is Ryan Hayes, and welcome back to another Cramer podcast. Last week, I had like a brother kind of duo on. I had Jackson and Charleston Baglio. I decided to do it again, so I got the Sly brothers, Charlie, Bentley, Sly, Stuart Cramer High School. They're members at Dark Horse Wrestling Club, part of the Team Fat Boy over there. So got some more Team Fat Boy kids. Adam Cox doing his thing. Before I bring them on, uh, just happened today. Uh, this podcast, as all of my other material, it's sponsored by Neutral Zone Clean. So you're not clean unless you're Neutral Zone Clean, and you can go to neutralzoneclean.com and you can get 10% off using the promo code CrankMat10. So yeah, you just for my listeners and viewers only, you can go to neutralzone.com and get all your Neutralzone products 10% off using the promo code CrankMat10. So get ready to bring the Sly Brothers on, and yeah, we'll see what they have to say. All right, guys, got Charlie, Bentley, Sly. You guys are live. So straight up, how you guys been doing?
Pretty good. Just no injuries, so we're blessed about that. And everyone in the room's been pretty healthy. So
Yeah. So I see you got your wrestler room in the background. That's very unique because I haven't had podcasts where a wrestler have or they've done their interviews in a wrestling room. It shows really seems like a big room. How many mats are in there?
It's one dual sided mat. It's just
Okay.
pieces.
it's a bunch
Uh,
of circles, so it's pretty good. It fits about 30 wrestlers.
yes, for sure, for sure. So real quick, you guys just kind of talk to me about how the season's going, kind of all the way up to now, kind of pre Holy Angels. We'll start with you, Charlie.
Uh, just haven't really had too much competition in quads and tries, stuff like that. I had a good match with Charleston at the Parkwood tournament. 3-4 match, lost that one. It was nice though. It was a good tournament for Bentley too. He had to wrestle Cam Stinson. We're all familiar faces, so good competition coming up soon. The Holy Angels, we'll see them there.
Yeah. So that match with Charleston, how much of that is that you guys just freaking wrestle each other in the room at Dark Horse like all the time? It's
Oh man,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's all like those matches are always going to be close, and like maybe the next time it's the you, and I mean that's just kind of how things work, but it does show how you guys have gotten better. Um, Bentley, how's everything been going for you, man?
It's been really good. I'm pretty with that one loss with Stinson at the Barclays.
Okay, Bentley, here's what we're gonna do. You gotta speak up some, okay? Just gotta speak up, my man. Be confident. I got you, man. I got you. Just be confident. So explain that again.
I've been undefeated except for that one loss in the season with Cam Stinson at Parkway.
Yeah. Um,
Looking at the competition at Hollywood.
right. Uh, I don't know if are you guys using like two different mics or the same one?
Same info.
we have AirPods.
Okay, so maybe I don't know, Bentley. I can't really hear you as well as I hear Charlie. So I don't really know how that why that is, but you know,
Disconnect them. Yeah, we can do that.
This guy.
Yeah.
Is it better?
yeah. So Bentley again, can you explain that like how this has been going?
Uh, one of my one. I'd look to have
Right. Um, so and I think it's probably a problem. Are you guys on Wi-Fi in your wrestling room? Okay. So there's a problem because where I was able to kind of hear you guys like consistently starting to boom, 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 boom. It happened with the Bishop McCourt podcast. Oh, Mason Gibson's in, but Charlie, actually, want to talk to you real quick. Maybe I don't know what's going on, but it's all right. So Holy Angels, kind of like the biggest tournament, kind of all the North Carolina kids will go to for the most part. How how is the do you know anything about anyone in your bracket, anybody you could potentially wrestle that you're kind of looking forward to, besides like the Baglios who you see like all the time?
Honestly, uh, don't. My, like
Um, yeah. So let me pause you a second. It might be how many bars you guys got because I might have to just kind of
all four.
okay because maybe the AirPods were better. I don't know because it just wasn't better on Bentley's end because I could hear you consistently with the AirPods, but it's kind of choppy now. Normally, I would say do these things where you got a bunch of Wi-Fi, but it's sometimes cellular service can be a bit choppy. Uh, all right, so and my bad, guys. Like maybe I should have probably given you guys that direction a little bit better. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
All right, so what were you saying, Charlie, about the Holy Angels?
My dad does all that research on the wrestlers on Wrestle, and if he sees anything that they do specifically, he points it out to me. And other than that, I do nothing. I don't look at brackets, none of that, because it's a little like psychology thing. I just don't want to
Yeah,
look at who I'm gonna have to wrestle. Just wrestle faceless.
you, you know, there's a lot of wrestlers out there just like you that do that same type of stuff,
Yeah.
and I get it. I get it on both ends. Some people want to see, some people don't. Some people, it's whoever's out there is out there, right? So
Right.
I get that aspect of it. So you guys kind of went on an off season, just really did a lot of tournaments. What was some of the highlights of like you guys off season tournaments? Like where's the tournaments that you wrestled in? You felt like you performed in, and how have these tournaments kind of got you guys ready for the high school season?
Ocean City Duels in Maryland, the fall ones right before the season. It was a great way to warm up for the season, and we wrestled with Red Lion from Pennsylvania, and they were great. We beat Great Bridge in the finals for our pool, so it was a nice experience. I got a lot of matches. Me and Bentley were undefeated, and yeah, our best matches were towards the end, and it was just a good little warm up. Super 32 is another highlight. It's funny, I went 0-2 probably every year. I went to Super 32, and then this year I went 3-2, so it felt like a lot better.
I mean,
Definitely improvement.
that's the goal. I mean, it's such a tough tournament, and it's not like it's like a trying because you guys are everywhere, and you know the only thing you can do is just keep preparing as best way you can. I mean, think about maybe the outcome of Super 32 had you not done anything in all season, right? So, it's good to go in a tournament like that and win matches, because 0-2 sucks no matter where you're at.
It does.
Uh, what really sucks is if like you travel like 8 hours to a tournament and like go 0-2. That
Yeah.
would be like terrible. Which is why like I've always been a big proponent of like duels, right? Because at least you know that if you're going on a dual team, you're promised like 8 matches. So even if you lose 2, I mean, it's not like you're added a tournament, thus getting your money's worth for the trip that you've taken all the way up there. So, so that's why I always say, get on a dual team, go on the weekend and see if you can't get like 8 matches and all that good old stuff. So, Charlie, being a defending state champion, what has the pressure been like? I mean, this season, you feel like you've kind of got pressure on you because people are expecting for you to win it again. How is the pressure and how are you adjusting to it?
I haven't really felt much pressure going into different matches because I just kind of, I wrestle these matches and I'm wrestling good wrestlers. it's not like I'm the one to beat, like the guy, you know. Like I just don't think that in my head when I go into a match. It helps me out. Um, I mean that's for some people that's a confidence thing, but for me it's like I don't want them to be all excited or something if they beat me, you know.
For sure. And then Bentley, first you get to wrestle a year with your brother before he graduates. How's that been for you so far?
It's been pretty good. The room's been much more fun with them having a minute, and we're good practice partners.
For sure. Um, Now there's a couple wrestling publications that um, outright predicted you to win the state championship at 120. Do you feel any pressure from that?
Not really. It's really just a mental thing to me. If
For,
somebody comes up to me and says that, I kind of shrug it off. I don't want to get it in my head.
right now, you've kind of you've kind of been doing this for a minute, grinding down there at Dark Horse. What are some tournaments that that's been kind of the highlight of like the year that's kind of like I asked your brother earlier that's prepared you for this high school season?
I definitely Super qualifier. I played second in that. Lost to a Tennessee kid, and I-64. Dual
For sure.
and individual.
Right. So now I'll go back to you, Charlie. I know a while back you made a decision go to Gardner Webb. I always want to ask kids about why they chose the colleges that they've chosen. Now, I could also understand that with the understanding that your dad went to Gardner Webb. So I know that probably played a little bit of a factor in it. But what are some of the schools that you visit, and then what made it come down to Gardner Webb?
Well, for starters, Gardner Webb, I visited the most out of all the schools I visited. It felt more homey. Uh, the Coach Elliott, he's great. He knows what he's doing there, and yeah, everything else it just felt right. It's like a little gut feeling. Can't really explain it that much. Everywhere else, it was just like App State. It was nice. I liked App State, but it just didn't feel like Gardner Webb. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I've been on the campus of Gardner Webb a couple times in my life, and I know Coach Elliott. He was a good standout wrestler there at Gardner Webb in his high school called Fuquay Arena out toward the Raleigh area. Um, been there a long time, so I know that he's trying to make some changes. So you got your dark horse room now, and I know I mentioned a couple wrestlers in there. Your practice room in Stuart Cramer. How's the team, Charlie, overall, and how do you guys think you guys will do this year?
I think this will be one of our best, if not our best year yet, because of the volume of our team, the talent we got. We got some underrated people that I think will be really good. Um, Ryan Denton, he's my practice partner. I've been training him for a while. I think he'll do pretty good. He'll qualify for states this year. Matt Courageous, obviously, in the running for a state championship. Got Bentley and me. That's 4 people at states, and we'll probably do maybe even our heavyweight and our 82. Yes, probably. Because this year I think we got a good chance for dual states and regular states.
For sure. So also you wrestle. What are some things? What are some things you do like outside of wrestling? I think over the summer you did like maybe some sort of internship at a hospital. Tell me a little bit about that.
It was just a volunteering opportunity, and it was a good it was a good experience. I still do a little bit of it every now and then. It was for good volunteering hours for college. Um, it's the field I want to go in, so it exposed me to that. They gave you free food. That was pretty good. Uh, Other than that, there's not much to say on that because it was just kind of like a thing my mom brought up, and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. So
Right. Now, when you say like Phil, you want to be a doctor, is what you're saying?
yes.
What are- what uh what do your grades look like? I mean, you kind of like top of the class kind of sort of deal.
I'm not top of the class. Some people don't have any life besides school, so they raise their GPA up with summer classes and stuff like that. But definitely up there.
I can imagine. I could. I know like it's probably even tougher now. I remember
Yeah.
asking at Bagley it was about how hard it is now for a kid to balance the academic workload and being a student athlete. How is that for you?
Um, it was worse junior year. I didn't really know what I was doing with time management, but after that, I got way better with it this year, uh, and I didn't have to stress as much.
Right. What about you, Bentley? Because they always, honestly, I've always heard, and it seemed like it was that way in high school for me, that it it starts out hard and gets easier as as you go for ninth, 10th, 11th grade, I guess, because you're getting all of your like core courses out the way, sort of deal. So, uh, what has it been like for you, Bentley, like academically and having to, you know, be a high school freshman and doing this for the first time?
Uh, Ninth grade's been pretty easy so far. Definitely gonna be harder 10th and 11th. Junior year feels like it might be.
Right. Um, and so, I like to bring it up because I'm a big Adam Cox fan. Team Fat Boy, man. How has that been for y'all? We'll start with you, Charlie.
Oh man, what Adam does for Dark Horse is pretty great. He he's very detail attentive and focuses on his guys when they need help. Anybody, honestly, like anybody will ask him a question and bring a video. He's a good guy. The merch that he makes, it's once a year. It's like a little Christmas gift, and it's it's very cool. A lot of people ask me questions about it, and then I have to tell them it's an exclusive club, and it's honestly like pretty hard to get into with being in Dark Horse and then getting to that elite level where Adam's just like, yeah, I want to train this kid, help him out. That's what being a fat boy is.
Yeah, it's every. I mean, the results speak for themselves. It's like every person that he's put hands on has done something great in this sport. Um, whether it be in North Carolina or on a national level. So, and I think obviously the results speak for itself through his son Jacob over at NC State. So, it's good that you guys got the leadership in that club, and it's Dark Horse has always been a good spot down there. I want to say they kind of started, I don't know, back in like 2012. One of the
I think it
earliest
was
wrestlers,
2012 probably. Yeah.
yeah, one of the one of the earliest wrestlers really was this kid. He kind of, I think he went to Central Cabarrus, maybe, uh, or maybe it was Central Cabarrus or one of them Cabarrus schools. But yeah, he was like a couple time state champion, and so it just from there, when it kind of started out, and you get Jim Avola in there, and she just kind of starts producing wrestlers. Um, so you got obviously like Holy Angels coming up. You got what do you guys got? Are you guys doing a tournament like this weekend? Some kind of quarter or tournament? Like, are you guys doing the Barry Memorial at Mallard Creek? Like, what do you guys have? Like,
We're doing Reindeer Rumble.
It's a dual tournament at Lincolnton.
okay,
We do it every year.
okay, that's just a little short trot up 321 up
Yeah.
up in the backwoods.
Yep.
So Bentley, because you and I, we've talked a lot of tournaments. What's the music you're listening to these days, warming up?
Last year was the new Metro Boomin album.
What'd you say? Speak a little bit louder.
The new 21 album or the new Metro Boomin album.
Okay. There you go. Are you a big Charlie? Are you a big listener of like music to warm up? I mean, some people,
Yes.
it's give or take for some people. Some people kind of like to be in a kind of a silent mode. What kind of music do you listen to, man? I feel like you and your brother are polar opposite when it comes to choice of music.
Well, Bentley kind of took my music taste with like the rap and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
for me, I like to be kind of like energetic and not really like locked in for my match. So sometimes when I'm feeling it, I'll listen to like Taylor Swift or something like that. Like I know it's strange, but
No,
it's a
you're
good
good.
like peps me up, a little bit. So most
Yeah.
times I'll listen to like just a rap playlist I have, and then when I'm feeling like ready to go, Taylor Swift comes on.
Yeah. It's people listen to different kinds of music. Uh, Back in the day when I was coaching the school, R.J. Reynolds, we had this kid that listened to that. I don't even know what you call it music. The screamo type of that crap like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Like I'm like that whole like I want to cut my wrist 3 times music. Like I can't deal with that. That's a bit much. Like
no, I'll never listen to that.
that's
That's just
a bit
awful.
much. No, it's just like you almost kind of wonder like you know like, hey kid, you good? Like everything good at home? Um, but yeah, it's like now, how do you prepare when you're going into like a let's say a tough duel meet? Matter of fact, let's put it this way: you have to go into a tough duel meet, and the matches come down to you, Charlie, to clinch it. What's a mindset for a match like that?
The same mindset for all my other matches.
You,
I don't think much of it. It just helps me out the most. I take kind of like a stoic approach to wrestling when it comes to winning
right.
matches and stuff like that.
To me, I'd probably imagine like it's kind of like first of all, it's tough because it comes down to you. Like, could you? And I know this is like a higher level of platform, but it's all the same. And I don't know if you you kept up with it, but so and I and first of all, I hated to doing this to this guy. So uh, obviously, uh, Jackson State, the HBU team out of Mississippi, was in the championship uh, versus North Carolina Central. They were playing a bowl game, and the it came down to the tight end, white guy. He has a wide open pass, hits him right in the hands, and he drops it, and that would have been a one that would have won the game. Um, if you had a match where you had to clinch it, but you fell short and lost to the opponent, and thus the team lost. Um, how would you bounce back from that with maybe people kind of talking, behind your back or giving you problems? How would you bounce back from a loss like that or coming up short in competition?
I would just work harder. That would that would inspire me to work harder. But I feel like people on our team, we have good team chemistry. I don't think they would talk behind me or Bentley's back if we lost a match. And the same for all of them. Everyone else has a mutual respect, and they're pretty good about it. Coaches instill those values. So
Yeah, for sure. So talk to me about your high school coaches. I mean, I've been a dark horse plug for the last 8 minutes. So talk to me about your high school coaches and their impact on you.
well, we got the head coach, Coach Ward. He's been here uh, since the beginning with his assistant, Coach Shope. and they're both. Coach Shope knows more about wrestling, but at the same time, Coach Ward knows more about uh, the psychological aspect of being a wrestler and like getting people to push themselves. Shope, he does all the technical stuff. Like uh, he does great at putting in weights and information results, all that stuff. My dad is a volunteer coach. He does work with the heavyweights, helps them out because he was once an upper weight wrestler, and they they all learn from him. They all respect him, and the coaches uh, they respect because they respect the wrestlers as well.
How is it having your dad as a coach, especially in a high school room? Like, I guess the question is how are you guys both able to balance the the coach wrestler relationship and the dad son relationship? How has that ever kind of been stressful at times?
He doesn't really coach us as much as he would if we were national or AAU tournament. He's usually stuck on the big boys, and he leaves Ward and Shope with us.
Yeah, he
Right.
doesn't really when we're here wrestling, he doesn't really interact with us, and that's honestly the best way to have it because it's the line between being a dad and a coach, and a coach cannot pay special attention to certain wrestlers, you know,
Yeah.
just because of their sons or something.
I think that your dad does it right. I've seen a lot of toxic coach dad relationships in the
Yes.
uh, over 23 years, 24 years that I've been involved in the sport. Um, uh, it, but I think it's also tough. Um, Sometimes it's just tough for parents to really let go, right? Because before you hit high school, it's normally that parent that took you to a bunch of the youth tournaments and kind of took you here, took you there, helped you work your way up, and then a lot of times it's tough for parents to really hand off their kid completely, and they kind of want to stick around, or coach at the high school, and then it makes it toxic because you now when it starts to be like important, really like the youth stuff. I mean, it's important, but not like it is now. Um, then you get that you take that one loss, you have a bad match, and it's like you're getting screamed at after the match. You're getting screamed at in a car
I've
ride
seen that.
home. Yeah. Now you get home, and where everybody just needs to wind down, relax, and put it behind you. It's screaming at you at the house. I've known kids have been a part of that. It led to an early exit in the sport, and so at least he does it right. He's I've seen him around with you guys. I mean, I know he could be I know he could be hard on you when he's got to and when you guys deserve it, obviously. But yeah, shout out to Telly Fly. Um, what's what's the goals for you guys like after the season? Like Charlie, are you gonna kind of start transitioning and trying to go work out at Gardner Webb, or like what are you gonna do kind of in the off season? What's the plans for you guys?
Well, I was thinking about uh, doing what I did this summer again, just hopping on protein and just getting bigger in the gym. That's what I did from transitioning from 13 to 32 where I'm at right now. So probably what I'm thinking to do again, just have some growth, wrestle some off-season tournaments, and just kind of relax more than last year on some of the off-season tournaments. But I also got to get them all because it's my last year.
Yeah. What about you, Bentley? And yeah, speak loud if you can.
Uh, I really want to place at nationals this year and keep doing what I was doing last summer, trying to get bigger and prepare for the next season.
Right. Charlie, I'm glad you brought that up about that growth from 13 to 32. How has it been for you? Do you feel like Do you feel like you're kind of filled out up there, or the guys stronger out there? How has that adjustment been for you?
I mean, it's been great, about the same as 13 to me. My style of wrestling kind of just matches uh, how much stronger I've gotten because I rely on that like strength part for some of my moves, and I mean, it's about the same honestly for wrestling other guys. They don't feel much bigger at all.
For sure. Now, Bentley, you're at 120 currently. Is that where you want to be at for the rest of the season, or are you going to try to take advantage of these 2 pounds you're going to get in the next 4 or 5 days?
I'm gonna stay at 20. It's easy to stay at 20, but it's gonna be hard to get down to 15 and stay there.
Yeah.
2 days at states and 1 day at home.
Right. Now, has the is it? I imagine. You said like 120 is easier, but have you had to do any kind of cut, or do you kind of walk around right in around that weight class?
Yeah, I've had to do a little bit of cutting, especially when the season started. And when we get like breaks for a week, I usually get up to like 28 and just cut that. It's just all about what you're eating.
Well, if you're getting up to 128, you don't care about what you've been eating.
Yeah, it's just all about what you're eating.
Yeah, no, he also has that aspect of being able to enjoy yourself, right? Thanksgiving and things of that nature. It's cool. I mean, it's good that you kind of you found that weight class and you're not having to cut as much. Now, I like to ask this question to a lot of wrestlers. Like, what's been that one match? I'll start with you, Charlie. What's been that one match that you lost and you wish you can kind of re-wrestle it? To just, if you just kind of sit thinking about wrestling, that match just pops in your head because it just digs down in you so bad.
Sophomore year, I wrestled Damon Landreth in the semis at regionals, and I lost by 1 point, and I was just like so mad. I was like devastated that I lost that. I was wanting to go to the regional finals and just win, but I ended up getting third that year at states, so it fueled me for sure. Beat the guy that got first at regional for third.
Right. Real quick before I get to you, Bentley, those matches, like matches where you lose by like 1 or 2 points, they're the worst ones because it kind of it really shows you I can beat this guy, right? Like you can beat him if you might have made like one small adjustment. And it's almost like that if you're gonna beat me, like beat me by like 4 or 5 points, like let me know I didn't have a chance, like
Right.
I mean if you're gonna do it, like it's those are tough. Like those are the tough matches, man. And it's like, okay, what could I do? What could I have done in that match to make the outcome in my favor? But now, on the flip side of that, has there ever been a match where you maybe you thought you were going to lose, but you won, or you thought you wasn't going to perform well, but you performed and above your kind of or exceeded the expectations that you thought?
I wrestled this kid from New Jersey at I-64. I thought it was gonna be like a really close match, and and I ended up 12-0 in him. I was just tilting him all over the place, and I was really surprised in myself for beating he was a pretty good kid. I just can't remember his name,
Right.
and it was a pretty good match for me, obviously.
And then Bentley, what's that one match that you lost that you just like, God, it just burns deep down inside of you?
At nationals last year, my blood rounds, I could have wrestled with them. That stuff in my toolbox.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. Hey, Charlie, you got the winter.
yeah,
What do they call that? The winter allergies. Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
bad.
man, everybody's been having that, and uh, like I have it, and it gets bad for me. Like I would be like in the middle of a restaurant or something, and I gotta go to the bathroom, and uh, I'll tell you something, and it really works, man. Take some local honey, bro. I'm dead serious, dead serious. Put it like I don't know if you drink coffee, but put it in some daggum hot chocolate or something, man, or just take
Yeah.
a teaspoon of it. But that stuff really works. And yeah. So now Bentley, what's a match kind of like I asked Charlie that we wrestled in that you kind of exceeded your expectations?
My first match at NXT actually. That kid was.
Hey, can you
much
speak
taller.
up? Can you speak up a little bit? I'm sorry.
My first match at NHCA last year. That kid was much taller. It looked like he's way more built than me. I ended up beating him 12-0.
Right. Now, when you don't have, what do you do when you underachieve? How do you bounce back from a poor performance?
I just get back to my club or in this room, ask my coaches, show them the video, ask them what I did wrong and what positions I could get in better.
Now, when what is what? I guess let me ask you this: is what do you feel like now that you still struggle at in the sport that you could probably fine tune to elevate your level of wrestling?
Shooting.
Yeah, you know it's funny you brought that up because you you you're probably a national champion in forcing the dadgum stalemate and all that stuff, man. You know how I like to hold a position, man. Like I like but I think that if you do open up, it it does pay to be offensive, right? And you know it's a lot of your matches like they're close matches, but like when they're close like that, that's kind of how you run the risk of like kind of lo- losing it at the end, sort of deal. When you just go ahead and lay it out there. I mean, what what's the worst can happen? You lose. I mean, go out there and just freaking go out there gunning, man. Take shots, be offensive. Um, and probably, some people are just different kinds of wrestlers. I mean, either way, it's whatever floats your boat. I mean, it's kind of been working. But yeah, if you think you need to work on it, I mean, get in there and get with your boys at Stuart, Cramer, and your coaches at Dark Horse, and I guess work on something. What about you, Charlie? What do you think you probably could work on a little bit?
I would say I've been working on moving my feet for a while, and I think I still need some work on that.
Oh,
And bottom, moving on bottom, because usually I just knee slide, get out, knee slide, get out. But when I get trapped, I gotta start moving more, and that's just, I don't do it much, so need to work on that.
so you say you don't move your feet a lot?
Well, I do now, but I still need a little bit of work on just like the footwork kind of aspect, because that's what Adam's been teaching me for about a year now, just how to move my feet.
Oh, you got white boy footwork. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I got white boy footwork.
It's all good. I mean, do 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 like a lot of do like those ladder drills always help with footwork. I'll be honest, and I had horrible. Still have horrible footwork. I never had good footwork. Um, it's kind of tough. Like it's I see kids do like the stuff in the ladder, and it's like, oh, there's a time where I could do that. When I was like, no, actually, there's never a time I could do that. I couldn't do it when I was young, but it's crazy like how the agility that these kids have. But yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff to do. A lot of your of course, you get your footwork right, you can kind of better be in place to set up your attacks, so to speak. But anyways, I know you guys kind of got school tomorrow. What's if there's anything you guys, Charlie, maybe that advice you can give to people, and with the what you've learned throughout this sport. Tell some people, maybe some advice that they can kind of take with them that may help prepare them if they're just getting started in the sport. Or they have they have goals of being a state champion like you.
Trust the process for sure. That's the biggest one. A lot of people are like, "How can I get better? How can I do this? How can I do that?" Uh, because they look up to people like the state champions. They're just always like, "I want to get better like now." Like, no, you have to wait through it, train year round, and then you'll see the results. Freshman year, I didn't even qualify for state, so I could have quit there and just been like, "Oh, there's nothing instant for me to get better right now. I just might as well stop." But no, you gotta just keep on going.
And then you, Bentley, what's some advice you can give to kids? I mean, you're yeah, I guess it's safe to say that you're probably better than what your brother was as a freshman, which at the end of the day, it it's usually supposed to work like that, right? Because same time Charlie gets started in the sport, you get started in the sport, but you're a bit younger, so you're getting started younger than yeah. So I mean, it's everybody. It's like CJ Paul. And nobody knows who CJ Paul is, but he has a younger brother named Chris Paul, right? They both got to the sport at the same time, but he's a younger brother, and uh, so it's always the younger sibling that kind of does a little bit better. But what's some advice you can give to people?
Take every opportunity you have to do something, especially in your sport. Like
For
go to a
sure.
practice or extra practice, ask coach to help you out. If you don't ask coach to help you out, then how are you gonna get better? Or if you don't
Makes
go to
sense.
practice, how are you gonna get better?
For sure. Well, you guys, I'm gonna let you go. Look, thank you so much for your time and
Yep.
kind of jumping on this podcast. And thanks, Bentley, for kind of getting out of your comfort zone. You learn to do more of this stuff. I mean, you gotten better because man, I remember that first time I interviewed you at Dark Horse, man. You didn't want to, and I was like, who is this kid? This is
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy, but you get better. Because I actually used to tell people I was like, man, I could be at a tournament, have a conversation with Bentley all day, but you put him in front of the camera, he just shuts down. So, but yeah, you guys take it easy. Thanks for your time. Go home, do your homework, whatever it is, uh, and make sure that when you have to roll from your high school practice to your club practice, and you don't have time to go home and get a shower, make sure you get Nutrizone Clean. You can go to NutrizoneClean.com, put in the promo code CrankMat10 to get 10% off of all Nutrizone products. How about that, guys? You take it easy, and yeah, and be safe, and yeah, have a good night and great rest of your week. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Guys, that was Charlie Bentley Sly. Uh, uh, Kids I've known for like a while. I've seen them kind of come up to the youth ranks. You know, it's it's tough these days, man. Like I mean, those kids are on the grind, and they're everywhere. And you know, I just want to see kids that work hard, you know, get what they put in, and those kids work extremely hard. They're at your nationals and like your Virginia Beaches and your Super 32s and your I-64s and they're at the who's who of tournaments. So, I mean, it's kids like that, you know, they deserve to win. So you know, good luck to them. Like I said, great kids, and yeah. So This is Ryan Hayes. It's been another episode of Crank Matt Podcast. And you guys have a great rest of your week. Be safe. Merry Christmas. And I hope Santa Claus brings you all everything that you wanted and asked for. And yeah, it's Ryan Hayes. And so long, everybody.